Action! Okay, so hi guys, I hope you guys are all doing well. A couple of days ago, I posted on my social media feed and I asked you guys to basically ask me questions relating to anything. And I got 3 questions relating to basically personal growth. And the first question was, how do you find the courage to find yourself? So when I first read this, the first thing that popped into my mind was that I found courage to find myself in the midst of losing myself and in the midst of digging myself a deeper hole of not knowing who I was. And that was like 2 summers ago. But it was in the midst of falling into depression, anxiety, and falling into this place where I was becoming really, really unhappy and just not myself. And in that moment in time, I remember thinking and asking myself, like, what do I want to do? You know, and when I was really firm about that, and when I was open to listening to myself, I knew the answer and I decided to take action towards it. And in taking action, that was courage, you know? So after that, I had like a ripple effect. I was feeling a little lost after that, but it was a ripple effect on like asking myself, like, what do I want to do? And it became such a bigger thing once I moved to Vietnam, of asking myself, like, what do I want to do, with the intention of what makes me feel good. And it's not with the intention of hurting anybody or making people feel less than, nothing like that. It's solely you. And in that moment, when you decide to take action on what makes you feel good, you build courage for yourself. And even taking a step back to, like, the moment that you decide to ask yourself, what is it that you want to do and what is it that makes you feel good? In that moment when you ask yourself, and in that moment when you are willing to listen to yourself, because a lot of the times we don't listen to ourselves, in that moment you are building courage to find yourself, you know, and the courage gets added more once you decide to take action. So that's the way that I find courage to find myself. And it's still an everyday thing. So I still ask myself every day, like, what is it that I want to do and what is it that makes me feel good? And it's the hardest when you're in situations that it's very difficult, because there's people that you want to please or people that you want to over accommodate, or there's family and friends, or it's new situations and you don't want to look like a bad person, or just so many scenarios. And I think in those moments is the perfect time to ask yourself those questions, to find courage to find yourself. Even among like judgment of other people, you know, I think we live in a society where, and especially the way that we grew up sometimes, like, where we have to please people and we have to over accommodate and we have to be nice in a certain way, and we put ourselves second, you know? So it's taking a step back and asking ourselves these questions and remembering our intention, our own intention of, it's to make us feel good, it's our life, you know, and it's, I want to be myself, you know. And I realized that when you aren't yourself, and when you choose to listen to other people and like judgment, you eventually fall into like these feelings of negativity, of like depression, anxiety, like overthinking, and that's something to be aware of, you know. So hopefully I answered that. If I didn't, or if you have more questions, please ask me more. The second one is, how do you find the courage to let go of everything that's holding you back? So I first think, like, what is it that I want to do? You know, like, that's like the first step. Like, what is it that I want to do? And then the second step is, well, why am I not doing it? Like, what's holding me back? Like, is it fear? Is it judgment? Is it my own story that I've created of like how I can't do it or I'm gonna fail? Like, you know, am I not worthy enough to do it? Or like even comparison too, like, oh, they already did it, or they've already done it, so I'm just not gonna do it. You know, and all these things hold us back, and sometimes we don't even realize it. So we have to take a step back and reflect on it. So then once I realize what's holding me back, to be honest, like I meditate. So I will sit down and I will meditate to surrendering to these things that are holding me back, you know, and just to be aware of them, like, oh, I see this and I see that. Like, I have such faith in the universe. So for me, it's like, universe, like, help me surrender these things that's holding me back. Like, please guide me. Please help me see the truth of what I'm trying to do, and please help me find courage to actually do it and believe in myself and believe in you, you know? So that's how I let go of everything that's holding me back. Even that too, like, it's something that I'm still learning every day, and it's something that I keep surrendering to what it seems like every day or like weekly when I find something that I want to do and I see things that are holding me back. So that's the way that I surrender, or that I let go of things that are holding me back. I know I've read a lot of books, so a lot of these books that I've read have a lot of knowledge of letting things go, you know, and also writing. So for me, like, I journal a lot, so I reflect and I write everything down, and it adds clarity to what's holding me back and what's the truth of the situation, you know, because at any moment, like, we actually have the power to let go of these things, and it's just our own doing. Like, how much are we holding on to these things that's holding us back? Because at the end of the day, like, we're holding on to them. Like, nobody else is holding it for us, if that makes sense. So it's our work to let go, you know, and once we let go, we have the courage to actually do it. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know. If you have other questions, please let me know. And then the third question is, what helps you stay balanced on a daily basis? So this is something that I'm also working on every day. So something that helps me stay balanced on an everyday basis is meditation. So I meditate every day, and I either try to do it in the morning or at night, and that kind of keeps me grounded, especially when it's like a busy day or there's a lot going on. Meditation helps me just take a step back from everything and just get myself grounded and be in this place of like peace and just being in the moment, you know. And in the moment, it's like just being aware that nothing's wrong and just being aware of my breath, you know, like I'm here, I'm present, everything's cool, you know. So another thing that helps me stay balanced on an everyday basis is I like to run. So, and I like to go to the gym, and I like to do yoga. I'm starting to get into yoga. So I try to do some type of exercise every day, or at least weekly, because if I don't do it weekly, then I feel that I become really unbalanced. So exercise, you know. So I think that meditation and exercise helps me stay balanced on a daily or weekly basis, you know. And another thing too is, like, I love reading. So even if I just read 2 pages from a book or 1 page from a book, that helps me stay balanced. So yeah, I just want to say, like, we're always growing, you know, like every year, every day, every month is a new chapter in our lives. So I feel like the more we go on with this life and this dance of life, like, we have the option, or we have the choice to keep choosing courage, you know. And I like to say choosing courage over fear, because sometimes we choose fear because it's so comfortable, and sometimes it's all we know. But every day is a practice to choose courage over and over again, even with the littlest things, you know. So yeah, I would just ask yourself, guys, like, what is it that I want to do, you know, and what's my intention? My intention is to feel good, you know. And once you ask yourself that question, and once you listen to yourself and take action, your life starts to transform. So hopefully I gave good answers. So again, if you guys have any questions of anything else, let me know. If you want to talk about this more in depth, message me. So yeah, okay, bye.